And we are live. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for dropping by. Hey, Alex. Alex B's in the house. Welcome. I want to start off by saying welcome to all those that are stopping by and are rather new to the program. This program I've been hosting for quite a while on a Saturday morning here in Eastern Time, starting at 11:30 Eastern Time. And we generally cover Splinterlands as well as other Hive blockchain game, what's going on and opinions and things like that. And I've branched out a little bit to other blockchains as well as some other play to earn games recently. So that's what we're discussing on a weekly basis. And sometimes it gets a little bit lively. So, hey, Alex B, thanks for dropping by. Gathering the Magic is in the house. Welcome. Alex asks, did you quit Splinterlands? I have not quit Splinterlands. I still have two, my main and my secondary account going. They are played by Archmage Bot, and I do play my brawls on each on a weekly basis. So my live interaction with the game is that I do keep up with my land. In fact, I made a couple changes on my land this week. So I am continuing to work with Splinterlands or play Splinterlands, and I've been trying to come up with some good ideas for Splinterlands based content. I had a few ideas this past week. I just didn't get on them. So that's the basic answer to that. So, and we're getting ready to see I wanted to, this is the Archmage Bot popping in here and playing a hand for me. This is my secondary account I was checking into. Alex says, with land, how will it work? People have ridiculous amounts of research and such. That's a good question. They've put land on the back burner. They've prioritized the new player experience, and overall player experience, right? Which, I can agree with. As far as when you have a small team, you got to prioritize. But as a person that's putting a fair amount of money into land, I'm like, hey, when's this going to come out? But obviously they've got a good guy on it, but it's not going to be until early next year when they get anything done. So the brawl just ended, and I got 19. I keep up with the brawls because they still pay out pretty good SPS, As far as the research, they've thrown out a lot of different ideas over the last, since we've been talking about last several months. He does want to move forward with that, and who knows where it's going to go as far as what research is going to go for. They talked about using research more recently for the card skins. Nate showed some artwork on this last town hall as far as the different skins, and I like the idea of it. It makes the cards look cooler. I would be more interested in them if they had some stats change or something else woven into that. Other than just pure artwork. I agree. The artwork looks great. I think his team does a great job, and I can see where they're going with it because, almost every other game you play has skins they sell, and it's proven to be a moneymaker for game companies. So I'm not against that, but as far as using the research for that, I don't know. I was looking forward to the other, but who knows what's going to happen. I do have a fair amount of research going on if we jump over to the land. I basically am not centered on one particular thing. I have, this is my wrong account. Have to go back over to my primary account to show you. But I have everything kind of divided into thirds. I have enough production for grain to keep all my land going well. I have a little bit of SPS going on a daily basis. And I have some research going on a daily basis. So not a huge amount of any of it, but enough that I don't have to buy grain off of anybody, and my research is piling up, and I'm gathering in a decent amount of SPS. Although I do overall agree with the general sentiment and what a few like Gathering talked about it, and KGM has talked about it, and a few other people have talked about it as far as right now, if you were jumping in, you would probably be, not probably, you'd be better off just outright buying SPS than buying land. And as we know, let's jump over and take a, land's been around $10 for the cheap plots. Let's look at the land market. $12 for the cheap lots, but that's not the cost of land. Okay, the real cost of land is what you're putting on the land and the staking DEC, right? Because yeah, you can buy a plot of land, a parcel plot of land for $12, but then you have to have $50 worth of DEC or whatever to put on it, and then you have to have 50 or whatever amount of cards you put on it. So it's a lot more expensive than when you jump in. So I think if the overall goal right now is just earning SPS, you're better off just buying it outright. And I do like the fact that the price has been going up. I was watching a discussion on Discord yesterday amongst people about I guess the overall topic was the price of the newer those two new special cards that are out. How it was high. Some people thought it was too high. Some people didn't want to change it. Some people were unhappy with the amount of SPS or DEC that was burnt and brought or given back to the DAO at this point, that they figured that for it to be the first round of those cards to be a success, it would have had to bring in like 200,000 DEC, where it only brought in like 113,000. So there's this big discussion, but the overall point that Vugtus made, he was in on this discussion, he or she, is the fact that DEC and SPS has been going up. And if it weren't for these card deals, this would not be happening. So, I mean, I think that was a valid point. I know, I got way off on a tangent. Sorry about that. So anyway, welcome to everybody. And if you're new to the channel, please kick in and let me know what you're thinking. As long as it's game related, we try to stay on that track. Let's check out what everybody's saying. KGM's in the house. Welcome. What's up? Gathering is here. Just collecting my grain and converting to DEC for now, using that to buy more cards. I haven't really done anything with my grain. I've averaged out. So this is my newest, this is in number 1. I actually only have 2 rare parcels, and I have it averaged out to where I'm making more grain than what I need, and I'm making a little bit of SPS. And in fact, the move I made this week was most of my parcels, if you haven't been following me, most of my parcels have max level gold foil commons from Chaos Legion due to the price point being very tasty. But I went in and I upgraded one of my commons to a rare, and I think I'm going to upgrade one of these other commons to the rare, and it brings in slightly more SPS, but I found a good deal on a rare max gold foil Chaos Legion, so I jumped on it. So either way, that was, I'm kind of averaged out, and I have not been selling off any grain due to the fact that I don't know how much money. I'd have to check out and ask you about how much money you're making on that, but I haven't been, it's just kind of stacking up for me. So, and it's not stacking up huge amounts because I've averaged out, like I have a, this isn't necessarily supposed to be land talk, but since we headed in that direction, now this is probably my slimmest. This is my slimmest region, but it's my region with my most parcels in it. Due to the way this is spread out, I am making 702.9 grain per hour, and 700 of that's being used. So as you can see, very slim margins, but I'm also making a decent amount of research and a decent amount of grain here too. So my other regions are not so slim. Like in this region, I'm making 732, and I'm only required 590. But these are also the regions where I'm pinpointing to go in and upgrade one of my common gold foils to a rare gold foils when I can find a deal on it. And then that will bring up my SPS slightly. Since we're still in a holding pattern, I figure why not bring in more SPS? I understand the fact that it's probably better money-wise to just buy the SPS, which I have. And by the way, I'm happy to report that I'm finally above 100,000 SPS, which has been my goal for quite a while. But I'm never one to just like sink a ton of money in at any one time. But I've been gradually buying, and due to the fact that they got the Transact bridge back up after it was down for a week or two, I wasn't able to buy last week. I've been buying, the minimum purchase is like $30, so I buy like $31 once in a while of SPS and DEC, and either stake it, or sometimes I always leave myself 500 liquid SPS in case I need to change it around. As you know, I play Golem Overlord, I play Decrops, I play several other games on the Hive blockchain, so I like to have a little bit liquid in case I want to go buy a pack somewhere else, Okay, I've been shooting off on a tangent. KGM says, land favorite part of the game, but no time soon. Yeah, you're right. Looks like, it's been on the back burner, and they haven't been talking about it a lot, other than the fact that it'll probably be early next year until we hear anything further. And due to the fact that they only got one guy working on it, although he's a fairly talented guy from what I hear, you can only advance something so fast with one person working on it, right? So I estimate that they will, I heard somebody else on somebody else's video, so I'm not taking credit for this idea, but it is logical, the fact that he will move it forward a little bit at a time instead of making major advancements. So it's like 1.6, 1.7, 1.8 instead of like doing it all and jumping through, because I don't think necessarily that obviously the number work behind the scenes to get the R&D work done, but then you have to worry about testing it, because throwing a major change into land could have disastrous consequences, right, if it's not tested right. So Rooney 207's in the house. Welcome. Just catching up with chat here after I was blathering on. KGM says, put all DEC into SPS. I keep some DEC that I bought for a cushion when it was lower, just so I could have some to use in case there's a card promo that pops up that I need. As we know, if it's been quite a while since we talked about land, but since we're talking about it today, if you have land, you will need a fair amount of DEC as we're working towards that land 2.0 and these things that they're releasing, because all the different upgrades and things like that you're going to have to do on your land, building and upgrading, guess what? It's going to require DEC. So if you see it go down and you're in the land game for the long haul, pick some up. I don't make any off of this. This is not investment advice. I'm just talking about it from the land playing aspect of the game. So that's why mine's sitting there. Although I have been buying mostly SPS over the last couple months, So I am happy to see that it's going up due to the more recent changes in the game, and we can see huge amounts of DEC being burnt, so we're all aware of what's going on in the game, so a lot of people talking about it in their videos. Okay, let's see who else is here today. Raceland's here. Good morning. Rooney 207 says at KGM Jam, put all DEC into GLX. Bolts 85 is here. Hola, amigo. I am stuck on 2,500 rating on rank battles. I'm at 3680. However, once again, Archmage plays my account, so I cannot take credit for that. Raceland says, took my DEC off land to buy cards. Yeah, I heard somebody else talking about that. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd have to think about that for a while. I just left my land, and like I said, the movements I've made on my land are just like slight tweaking. Like I said, several weeks ago, I bought a rare totem because I found some parts and combined one for a good deal. And then I've been slowly, whenever I can find a rare, I wish I could find a really good deal on a max level epic Chaos Legion card in blue or green. But that would help out a lot too. But I like my numbers are good where they are, but I'm just tweaking slightly, and that's where I am presently. Does it make money sense as far as investment? Probably not. But I like to, when we eventually get to where we're going, I want to be as set up as well as possible and not have to move everything around again. So. Gathering asks, how is everyone's end of season grind going? Keep going, bolts. This is my main account. You can see that usually we have almost 2 days left, which usually on my last day, I crank it up a little bit. I have a little bit of extra energy, so I'll crank it up to like 2 matches per hour. I usually don't waste my extra energy at the beginning of the season due to the fact that there's so much competition, so much jockeying, and it seems that my loss percentage is much higher at the beginning of the season. We've talked about this a dozen times, but at the end of the season, I have a much higher, because it seems like a much higher win rate. It seems like everybody is kind of evened out towards the end of the season. You are pretty much where you're going to be unless you're buying a bunch of energy and jockeying. I'm never on the leaderboard, so you know what I mean. I spend a little bit. If I have extra energy, you can see like I have 20 energy right now. Usually on that last day, I'll go ahead and pump it up to 2 per hour instead of 1 per hour. It's going pretty well. I should do an end of season, the whole glint buy video. I need to do that when this happens as well. But a lot of interesting cards we've been talking about. So I like it. It's. I think this new set has given me a little bit of a shot of energy. So I'm also looking for ideas for videos I could do about the game. I prefer to just like keep it kind of upbeat. I try to look for interesting ideas that aren't done by everybody else because I don't want to seem like I'm copying everybody, So, okay, let's see what everybody's saying. Alex T says, been trying to overthrow governments in South America. Just kidding. Matthew Young's in the house. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Paul Taylor's in the house. Howdy. Thanks for dropping by as well. Bolt85 says, what? You're on pristine Northwest? Nice. Yeah, I picked those up, I don't know, a couple months ago. But I'm also looking, that would probably be where I'm also looking for any other deals. Let's see what's on sale today. We got a forest for under $20. There's a river for $20. That's been kind of had my eye on. I've been looking at the grain producing properties. Once the changes occur, the properties that will produce grain. Those are kind of what I've been focusing on. I've been kind of looking. It's interesting to see how we have several, and we've talked about this before, but several regions that you can buy cheap parcels on, but then a lot of regions are maintaining their value. And I'll give you an example. So I am in one of my regions is 114 Tostrington. And if you go up here, first of all, you see, let's go back. This is Tostrington for sale. You can see that there are very few parcels for sale, and those that are, the lowest price is $38 and $40, and those are for commons. And you can see that the price, there's been virtually no movement in price on this area. Another region where I am is Ravenwood, which is 133. Once again, We have very few parcels available. There is one for $23, but most of the prices are up there, and the prices have stayed. And this applies to a lot of different areas across the map. There are some that are just really cheap, and I'm assuming those areas are people just flipping them, right? Whereas there are some regions where people are just dug in. They've got their parcel, or I keep saying parcels and plots because of the other game I play, Atlas Earth. They refer to land as parcels, and in Splinterlands they refer to them as plots. So interchangeably, same word, synonyms, right? But it's been interesting to me that you can go in and, like I said, find cheap parcels, plots here for 10 and 12 bucks on Thies. And these have been sitting here for a while, 1370. Although we can see that the price is creeping up a little bit, because for, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months, they sat at like $10. And they were even getting down to $8, which is a fairly decent buy. Until but you have to consider what else is going to go into them. Some people might just buy them and be saving them, holding them, right? So nothing against that. But we also see that we have some parcels here that for under $15 that include building in the box, which part of that has been used already. So, but still you have, that does give a little bit more value to the land once Land 2.0 comes out. And then you have some for under $15 in Dorthan Dell, which is 81, that has building in a box and unstable totem. But these are all, like I said, I'm primarily looking at the parcels that are going to produce grain and not, wood and stuff. Although I don't have nothing against that. It's just, you got to pick something and go with it, right? So, okay, let's see, catch up with what everybody's saying here. Rooney207 says land will be all about SOP. What's SOP? Gathering says magical plots drying up, only a few under $50, and rare magical at 100 plus. Yeah, we were talking about that last week. Raceland says congrats at 100K. Thank you very much. Been working on it for quite a while. In fact, I can remember way back when they made the changeover to the requirement of staked SPS to earn. I was at 10K. So it's been quite a while. But like I said, I never bought any huge amount at any one time. It's just been the slow evolution, kind of like the invest a little bit at a time and then your averages out, right? Well, anyway, you know what I mean. Crypto Beavers here. Welcome. I am 2 plots away from the 50 target to join the Discord channel. Nice. I am at like, what, 15, I think? I should know this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14. I'm at 14. Haven't bought one lately. The last 2 I bought was like a month or 2 ago. Congratulations on that, though. Bolts 85. Not a lot going on 50 plot Discord channel. Not missing anything really. Beaver says, good to know. Thanks for the info. KGM says, hire Yixon to do Splinterlands mobile app. I was just thinking about that earlier when I was doing my Saturday morning chores. I was like, you know what? We were talking about this kind of jokingly in the past. We've said this a few times. In case you missed it, I did a Golem Overlord video last night, and just on the release of some major news from Golem Overlord. Spoiler alert, they've got a mobile app now. It's approved for Android. It's still working its way through the iOS store approval, but that's a major step, right? And Yixon, one person development team for Golem Overlord. Completely different game, completely different type of game than Splinterlands. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's a major step for a game to have a mobile app, and that gives you a lot more exposure. And he's been ironing out the the problems with that we talk about on a weekly basis about attracting Web 2 type standard gamers to Web 3. You know all the standard things we talk about as far as buying crypto, exchanging crypto, things like that. You can now just go into the game and you can buy. You can just buy using PayPal or your bank or your credit card. So we can go in here and go to the shop, and if I wanted to buy, this is their version, his version of a loot chest, like buying a pack in Splinterlands or something. You can go to checkout, and you can use Swap Hive in game on Hive Engine. You can use PayPal, bank, credit card, or you can exchange 304 other cryptocurrencies if you want. So basically, he's ironing out, making it easier to get in and up and running in his game. Plus, he has a mobile app. So big news yesterday, and I put out a video on that. It would definitely behoove Splinterlands to have a mobile app in the future. Obviously, that's not on their list now, and they're working on, they have been working on improving the mobile experience within a browser. Okay, so good point, though. Let's see here. Matthew Young says, I've got one plot and it's a keep, so I just let it ride instead of taking anything off it. Yeah, I can see that. In that case, if you had one of the keeps or castles, I can see just like having one. But that's an interesting topic, and we haven't talked about it for quite a while because there hasn't really been a lot of change in quite a while. But once everything starts changing, I would be interested in your take on how it's going, because I have no insight because I don't have a keep or castle. Obviously, if you play a keep or castle, it's a much different view of the game, how things are interconnecting within your region and such. So interesting discussion when changes happen, though. Down the road. World of Crypto is here. Welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Says, hey, nice to catch this live. Atlas Earth has a glitch. It's showing me I can purchase land I've already paid for. Interesting. Welcome. You know what? I would report it via ticket. That's wild. I do know that you can, if you own a parcel of land, you should be able to click on it, and it should give you the option to sell it, not buy it. So I would just report it via ticket in the app. Anything like any issue you have with the game, I would just report it. And take screenshots and show them what you're talking about, because you can just attach a screenshot to the ticket and it gives them something to go on. But good point. Most dirties in the house, welcome. Good morning. Regarding land, is it better to stick to one element type per plot? Not necessarily. It just depends upon, and things are still rapidly changing. You know, he could change things, but the idea is that each parcel, depending upon, and we've talked about this in the past. I did, last year I did this run up of videos about all the listing of the white paper of the land information, and basically each parcel, each plot type, depending upon whether it's a forest or a river, it's going to produce something different. And all of those go together in different manners to produce different materials, that it just works its way up the chain. The whole idea is that everybody needs everybody. If you have wood from your forest and I have grain from my plains or my river, then you need to buy grain off of me to produce your wood. And then if I'm building something out of wood, then I need to buy wood off of you, and vice versa. That's the way the economy, the whole idea is, it goes into play. But when I started looking into it, if you actually wanted to build out something and work your way up the tree, it would take a ton of parcels or a ton of plots of land of different types. So if you're a big investor or a big buyer of land, it's possible, but it would take a lot of different types of land to be able to make what you need and only buy very minimal off of other people, right? So my focus, since I have less than 20 parcels, plots of land, I have 14 like we just showed, was to, and I do have, not all of them will produce grain when the changes happen, but I chose to kind of specialize in those. So when the changes happen, I know I will be able to make enough grain that will keep me going, as well as I'll be able to sell grain. Now, at that point in time, my approach is, as we see changes happen, and obviously, when changes happen, they're announced. A lot of this stuff hasn't even been made up yet, right? He's working on it. As we see these changes announced, then you're going to have to make decisions. Well, do I want to keep going in this direction? Do I want to sell off these types of land and buy other plots of land? Do I want to just buy more so I can do more? You know, all these decisions are upcoming. So, but that's been my approach. Rooney207 says Splinterlands has sales every day and all day. Yeah, you just have to have time. It's just like watching the stock market or something or other. You just have to have time to sit there and watch. Gathering says, I am sticking to 1 splinter per plot. Will be easier to feed 1 splinter the specialized food when it comes out. This is right. He brings up another reason to specialize is whenever it's going to be a lot more efficient to feed your workers with the specialized food once it comes out. And each type of land will have a different type of specialized food. And I think that they really need to change that, really, right off the bat, because there's going to be so many specialized foods, it's going to be hard to make. And I know the argument is, well, that'll keep the price of that up. Yeah, but I think it's going to fail. I think that there needs to be one type of specialized food across, and then you can buy it if you need it. But according to the current white paper and layout, you're going to have a different type of specialized food, which is going to be a lot more efficient. You have to buy a lot less of it per splinter type, right? Depending upon, you know, whether you have a forest or river or whatever. So specializing would mean you would only need to buy one type of specialized food. Different, approach to it, but definitely a good idea we've been talking about, or we have talked about in the past. It's just been a while, clearing off the dusty cobwebs off my brain about that. Rooney207 at Most Dirty, focus on acquiring SOP governance token for land. Okay. Alex T says, I have enough land to produce everything, just not the cards. Yeah, you're right. It's not even made up yet. They might not even know how it's going to happen. Hopefully, I would hope that it's at least skeletoned out on a document to where they have an idea of how it's going to go. They just don't know how they're going to get there at this point, and he's working on that. I would hope that we've been talking about land for so long that they've got this, at least a good skeleton of the game out there that he's working on piece by piece. I don't have any information, but hopefully. So it turns out the SOP refers to Secret of Pretoria, which is the whole research type idea. Thanks with everybody filling that in. It's Rooney207 adds that it's a land version of SPS, which is like a governance token. Not like, it is a governance token. Most Dirty says, I have 2 plots for research. Rooney says, Splinterlands has 3 components so far, SPS, SOP, and Soulkeep. Yeah, I think we need to stop with more tokens. I literally think we have too many tokens, okay? Yeah, I said it, and the same thing was when I said the same thing when Voucher came out. I think we have too many tokens. I can understand the need for, the idea, but I think there would be a different way to do it. But and this kind of goes into some of these new games that I'm looking at, these new Korean and Chinese based quote unquote play to earn games, but they really strike me. And I haven't done a video on it, but if you've joined me in some live streams I've done more recently, I like the gameplay of the games. They're fun games to play, but they're gotcha games, and there's a lot of money. They basically make their money off of what you buy off the store, and they kind of force you to buy it. And the Web3 part of it is just kind of in the background, and it's just so expensive that logical people would say, it's like I was playing that new game Seraph, fun game, obviously a Diablo 3 clone, but it's like you go on and you want to buy a breastplate, a good NFT breastplate, and it's like it's like $1,500, $2,000. Who's going to afford that? Obviously, there are some people, but not me. Okay, got off the path there. Alex T says 100K is a good minimum place to be. I've been working for a while for it. He also, Rooney says, all landowners need to know and care about SOP. Alex T says, mobile app for the win. Yes. Bon Galaban's in the house. Welcome, Bon. Thanks for dropping by. Bon's in a much different time zone than I am, so I appreciate the time difference. Thanks for dropping by. I watch your videos once in a while. I try to watch everybody who are contributors and makers of videos. I try to watch your videos once in a while, but I just have so many people that I talk to, and kind of in Splinterlands, and it's just like I can only watch so many videos, and so here's the thing: if you watch a Splinterlands type video, or any of the other games you want to support, and somebody's creating content on it, make sure and like, subscribe. Obviously, we always say that, but also leave a comment on the video. That helps the YouTube algorithm, and it would help me if you left a like and a comment on this video as well. So I appreciate it. We always say that because I've been my channel has been rising in popularity lately, and I've been putting a lot of work into it to try to make things better, right? Not stay stagnant, improve things here or there. So I'm looking, you know what I'm looking for? I'd like to start doing another weekly stream, but it's just like gaming, so let me know in the comments to this video, not just like in chat, what day, what day, time zone. I would generally have to do it at night because I work all day during the day, or I could do it on Sunday, but that's besides the point. Just let me know somehow what you think about that, if you would be interested in watching a gaming live stream. Rooney says, IMX currently has P2A for Mystery Society for free money. Not even sure what that means. Smash that button. Yes. Thanks, Raceland. Please leave a like, and please subscribe if you haven't. Alex T says he has plenty of AVAX off the grid. Yeah, I have. I wouldn't say I have plenty, and just in crypto in general. If you invest in crypto, like I have quite a while, and I mined quite a bit for several years, use a cold wallet. That crypto is not safe unless it's in your cold wallet. There, I said it. Okay, going on. Rooney207 says AVAX, IMX, and RON are the top 3 web gaming chains. I watch the videos about other people produce on top play to earn games, and I'm always looking for something new that attracts me, but there's a lot of that stuff that just really doesn't attract me. I'm tired of like tired of games where you like collect pets and battle pets and low resolution stuff that I played in the 90s. I'm tired of that. I want some good resolution games with the type of games I like to play, and I want the Web3 built in. So that's why I've been toying around with newer games I've seen. So I've got some on a burner as far as other games I'm covering, but my problem is that I'm ultra realistic when I try to cover them, and I've been approached by a few different R&D teams for these games to sponsor videos, and I don't end up doing them because these teams just want you to basically advertise their games. And whenever I do a review of a game, I try to be realistic. I tell you the good things, I tell you the bad things that I see, and there's a few that I've turned down along the road. So Rooney 207 says, well, Alex T mentions Polygon as well. Yeah. And Alex T says, Polygon no longer focuses on games, just like Gala. I don't know a whole lot of specific about that. I know Gala was big there for a year or two, and there's a run up, then there's something massive bad that happened. So I looked into those games, and primarily I believe they're on Ethereum, and that does not really attract me. Seraph is on BNB, so it's easier to work with. I like working with BNB, but anything primarily on Ethereum that's not on a side chain, it's just so expensive to work with. It's like Seraph is primarily on BNB, but a lot of the NFTs are in Ethereum, and I was just looking at a few random things. It was like $1,500, $2,000 plus you have to pay an arm and a leg to transfer it. So I'm like, but their season 0, what they commented on, just ended this last week, and then they're in a run up to the full release of the game at the end of the year. They haven't released. I probably will be playing the game, but I'm not sinking a bunch of money into it. There's a lot of, I guess I started talking about this because they have these style gacha games have a huge amount of tokens in them. They'll be or gems and stuff that drop. They're like a dozen different gems that drop. Do this, you need this gem, and it just gets super complicated. And what it all ends up being is loot chests. So you get loot chests, and then they want you to pay to buy keys. This whole gacha mechanic. And it's a lot of the games, and this is a picture of the games where you see it coming out of China and coming out of Korea. And this last one I was watching was from Hong Kong. All similar tactics. So just watch whenever you see these quote-unquote play-to-earn games. Technically, are they? Yeah, but you have to spend so much money to earn anything that you have to really weigh the odds of what you're putting into. A lot of these people, these are societies where people over there are actually playing 20 hours a day to make income instead of having a regular job, right? And that is their regular job. And that pushes the economy along in these, but it's not necessarily for me. Although I love the artwork. Generally, these new games coming out from over there are great artwork and great playability. Like I said, I like playing Diablo-style games, so that's why that caught me. I saw Bulldog playing it a couple weeks ago on his stream, so that's where I got the idea. But watch where you put your money into. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Jeffrey Wright's in the house. Welcome. So y'all keep talking about Splinterlands, and I broke down and started an account with your referral. That tutorial avatar is kind of a word I can't say on YouTube. Yeah. Well, to be honest, they're solely focused on improving the game for newer players right now. So you should see a lot of changes over the next few months. So stick in there, play as you can, and try to find good deals on cards and whatever looks good to you, and learn as you go. And whenever the new player experience fully releases and we've got a lot of chunks of information to cover, I'll go in and start doing videos on that. Haven't done a lot of those videos from a new player's perspective lately because frankly not a lot has changed over the last few years as far as from a new player perspective goes. However, there's a lot of difference between whenever I came in the game right now, or 3 years ago, and right now, and I feel that they're getting ready to implement a lot of other changes. So I'm just going to wait until those changes take effect, and then I'm going to do a series of videos. I'm sure a lot of content providers that cover Splinterlands will be doing videos as those things. So keep an eye on those towards the end of the year, whenever that comes out. Rooney207 says AVAX is too rich and impossible to surpass. I have no experience there, so I'll take your word for it. Alex T says, Bronze Dragon, you should talk to Jeffrey for Royal Eagle. Yeah, welcome to Splinterlands, Jeffrey. We've been playing, most of us have been playing for quite a while. So, yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. I do go through the videos and on a daily basis and try to answer what I can. Point you in the right direction if I can't specifically answer. Alex T likes the ease of Ronin. That's why I think we're on something with it. Blah, blah, blah. I don't understand that. Don't like that I can't play any games from my iOS phone. Yeah, well, that's why I kind of saw that pop up as far as Golem Overlord yesterday. And no, you can't play it on iOS yet, but it is in the certification phase. And if you play on Android, you can play for the app now. Alex T says cold wallet for to win. Yeah. Like the old phrase goes, if you don't have your tokens on a hard wallet, they're not yours, or cold wallet. Both the same term. That means I don't make money. I've got multiple. I don't make money off this. This is not, but I've got multiple hard wallets, cold wallets. I have another one actually. I use the Nano series. And like I said, I've been mining for quite a number of years until Ethereum went proof of stake instead of proof of work, and everything's pulled off. And I do have some in another situation, but like I said, the safest place is in your cold wallet. Alex T says, building your own is Chad level. A game, I guess. Gathering says, Jeffrey, what is your username? I will send you some cards to help you get started. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of us here, we're trying to attract new players. It's a great game. They've made some good choices. They've made some bad choices, but we're all human and we all just want to see the game keep going forward. So like I said, they are in a development phase right now to improve the game for new players and all players. Rooney207 says those gacha games are not designed for regular players. Only whales should spend. Well, one could argue Splinterlands is designed for whales too. But I think overall, the gacha games they just have a lot of side purchases. And you just have to watch. And I try, as soon as I jump into a game, like, the game recently, I like playing the game, but you get to a certain point and you realize that you're not going to get any of the good stuff unless you start spending money. And I don't have anything against spending money in games. It's just keeping an eye on games that are predatory. And try to, it's all gambling, right? These loot boxes and everything. That's why in Europe, in the EU, they've outlawed a lot of stuff to deal with loot boxes where they get kids and kids are basically gambling, right? Obviously, most of us are adults as far as I know. You can make your own financial decisions and you should do your homework before you dump a bunch of money. But I don't dump a bunch of money. Splinterlands is by far the one game I put the most money in. But I kind of spread things out, so I'm a gamer that likes to experience new games and different types of games. So I also subscribe to the idea that don't put all your eggs into one basket. Then if you drop that basket, you won't be crying so bad. So just reading, skipping through the comments here. Joffrey Jones, Off the Grid is out. Game is amazing. I got 2 #1 gun mints last name. I have not checked that out. In fact, I keep a list going of things I should check out. Off the Grid. By the way, Gathering, I did get that game you were talking about the other day, Stone Shard, and I haven't made this is just a standard game that he advised was a good game to play, and he did some streaming of it. I've not done a whole lot in that game other than die a bunch of times, so that's the progress I've made in that game. Maybe I'm just not approaching it right. But I also haven't had a ton of time to sink in it too. So I actually went back and started playing Diablo 4 again. I haven't played it in quite a while, and they've really improved it. I wanted to kind of refresh my memory on the quality of Diablo 4 versus this other game that I've been playing, the one we were just talking about, and I'm looking, Seraph, which is largely a copy of Diablo 3. So Diablo 4 is still far and away ahead, a better quality game, but obviously does not have Web 3 elements to it. Alex T says, Off the Grid is going to be lit. I'll have to check it out then. Alex T says, Joffrey says, bro, can you play it right now? Alex T says, don't got time, but I'll send the little one to give me an analysis. Rooney207 says, only buy cold wallets directly from the manufacturer. Good tip. I agree. Because obviously, just like any other computerized device, if you buy them secondhand off of, say, eBay or something or other, they could contain some installed software. Hopefully when you plug it in and sync it up to the manufacturers, they would catch it, but who knows. But very from a computer standpoint and a malware standpoint, very good point. Only buy from the manufacturer's page. You get a brand new one. Don't save a few bucks and buy one off eBay, in other words. Joffrey says you can also get OTG NFTs from Technocore on mobile. Okay. KGM says the house you paid off isn't yours either. Yeah, that goes down a whole different branch of what old guys complain about when they're drinking beer, right? So, which I haven't done in a month, and I feel I've been trying to lose a little bit of weight, so I haven't drank any beer or whiskey in over a month, and I'm kind of feeling like getting that itch. But I got a doctor's appointment next week, so hopefully that'll go well. Alex T says, mine is, as long as you pay my taxes. Yeah, but like I said, it goes down that discussion. I own my house too, or until I don't pay my taxes and somebody goes to the special hidden court where you can buy other people's land that they are behind the taxes, and sometimes they know about it, sometimes they don't. It's just a weird conversation. Rooney207 says Splinterlands is 100% designed for spenders as there's no scholar button. It seems like the whole scholar idea was designed and come about by actual players and not the game. Okay, if you're not familiar with this, the idea is that it's fairly expensive to come in and start collecting cards to be able to play the game, so you can rent them. Or you can go under the scholar idea where somebody else has a ton of cards and they let you use their cards to play, but you get a portion of the winnings, they get the other portion, and there's different setups. So I've always been of the try to find the best value for my dollar for the play of cards, and that generally resides in the Chaos Legion. So if you go to Chaos Legion, the core and rewards, generally speaking, if you're a new player, this is where you're going to start. Now, at a certain point, obviously, you will no longer be able to play these in Modern, but you'll still be able to play them in Wild. And I would argue that if you look through here, you can see that a lot of my battles, a lot of it's Chaos Legion stuff, right? Pellicor Mercenary, Fungus Flinger, Goblin Psychic, love my Jin Oshanis, one of the best values for bang for your buck if you're going to start out. Get you a Jin Oshanis, you'll love it. I can't believe I paid like $25 for one back in the day. But anyway, we've been saying that a lot lately. Gathering says, Stone Shard is a fun game. We'll do another video on it. It is challenging and a major update is coming soon. Yeah, it's kind of, it's not an online game. It's a lo-fi game. In other words, it's a 8-bit, would you say? It's not exactly 8-bit. It's probably 12 or 16-bit, but it's lo-fi graphics. But it's a MMO style adventure type game. But I got in and I played a few different sessions. I ended up dying a few times, so I'll have to dive back into it when I get some time. I've got some time off towards the end of the year around the holidays, so expect to see me pop up with some live streams. I think where I need to go is finding one specific time, because it's better for people to plan around a schedule than it is to see random pop-ups of live streams. But let me know in the comments what time you think would be good for a live stream on a weekly basis. Keep in mind, it has to be at nighttime if it's during the week, because I have a job to pay the bills. Alex T says, it's not a secret court here in Florida. Anyone can buy tax deed properties. Yeah, I know. I kind of missaid that. It's not secret. And yeah, most places they're required to list it in the newspaper. But who reads newspaper anymore, right? But you always hear about these stories making the news where somebody didn't pay their taxes and get their house bought out from under them. You know, it's a weird kind of discussion, and we're getting off on a non-gaming topic there. It's a weird discussion when you're going in and buying somebody's house, you know, that they may have paid off. They just forgot to pay the taxes or something or other, especially when you get old and stuff. It's just, especially if you're a role player, it's like, where do you fall on the spectrum? You know, good, neutral, evil, or chaotic evil, or neutral evil. Maybe that's an argument for somebody that does that. Alex T says, I can go to any county website and find the tax deed list along with county stuff for sale. I think it's just most people don't know about it. Yeah, I agree. It's just like, it's not something I concentrate on, because I would like to think myself as a neutral good person. That's what I'd like to think of myself. Gathering says, wife has to work this weekend, so I'll be playing a lot of Splinterlands and making videos. Alex T says he's chaotic evil. Well, yeah, I don't know any of you personally, but I would like to think of myself as neutral good. I know I'm not neutral good, maybe. Yeah, that's the best way. I know I'm not exactly lawful good. So either way, we're drawing down towards the bottom of the half hour, or the bottom of the hour. I want to say thanks for everybody coming by. I want to say thanks for everybody who's joined the channel recently. Like I said, leave in the comments. Make sure you leave some comments about videos. Give me some ideas about what you want to hear about. When do you think would be a good time for me to have a gaming live stream where we can just chat about games, and it will be random as far as the games I'm playing. And if you live in the South, I heard Alex just mentioned a hurricane just pulled through, so I hope everyone's doing well and you don't have you're not flooded out or have a tree on your house. I used to be in that situation, used to live in New Orleans, so I know how it goes, and I hope everyone is safe. Okay, so it looks like Alex says you should run for the Dow board. Oh, I'm the last person you want on the Dow board. Yeah. Yeah, Golem Overlord Guild update. Like I said, check out my video I released yesterday. I did a pretty good update for the guild. We are doing well, I think. I think yesterday we were ranked 12th. But as far as advancement, once again, it's those, we're working on the blueprint claim multiplier, which is the bottleneck for advancement with the guild, research. But once again, the blueprints are the bottleneck in that. So we have been, if you can play, the conquest. That will help out if it's open 4 different hours during the day. If you're not one of the VIPs, VIPs have it open all day long. So if you want to play a little bit of the conquest, that will net the guild a few more blueprints. So that would help out. But everything's going pretty well as far as that goes. And if you want more information, just check out the video I released yesterday. Alex T says, one of my properties got destroyed. It was in Live Oak. Sorry to hear that. I was in New Orleans when Katrina pulled through, and it was, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It was a tough part of my life. So hopefully you and your family are safe and healthy. Gathering says, Alex, did you scare Tails off? I haven't seen him lately. I think that Tails has become disenfranchised with Splinterlands and has been playing a few other games lately. Tails working at MCDS. They are busy this time of year. Thanks for streaming and hanging out, Raceland. Thanks for coming by. Should do a conquest stream for Golem Overlord while you learn it. I don't know how much there is to learn. I know that there's a lot of stats thrown around, and I know things are changing. But yeah, I might consider that as well. I was also considering doing a live stream with Splinterlands and doing ghost card things, like saying, hey, we're going to do a ghost card, not necessarily a tournament because I don't really have prizes to hand out, but okay, do gold level, something like that. Either way, thanks for everybody dropping by. I hope everyone is happy and healthy on your side. And if you live in Florida, I hope you got through unscathed or as scathed little as possible, and your house isn't flooded out. And I will see you in Splinterlands, or what other the game we both play together. Have a good one.